Draw Point News, July 9th edition, your daily dose of reality. Fast, focused, and fearless. Headline number 1. Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear sites. Israel launched overnight airstrikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities, Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, in a swift operation to disrupt suspected enrichment efforts. Mossad confirmed all Israeli aircraft returned safely, while Iran has yet to issue an official response. The strikes mark another major escalation in ongoing tensions and raise the risk of broader conflict. Headline number 2. Tech targeting in Operation Rising Lion. That same operation, dubbed Rising Lion, reportedly eliminated key commanders and nuclear scientists linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Over 200 aircraft were involved in the precision strikes. Experts suggest the mission was carefully timed to avoid civilian casualties. Iran's leadership has promised retaliation, escalating already fragile regional tensions. Headline number 3. NOAA lab faces closure. The proposed 2026 U.S. budget includes shuttering NOAA's flood and tornado research labs, a move that forecasters warn could weaken flash flood predictions. Officials at NOAA say this could undermine preparedness amid increasingly unpredictable weather patterns. Flood-prone communities are sounding the alarm, arguing that safety relies on these early warning systems. Headline number 4. Space traffic system at risk. Aerospace industry groups are pushing lawmakers to keep funding for TRACS, a satellite traffic coordination system within NOAA's Office of Space Commerce. Thousands of satellites now orbit Earth, and experts say TRACS is essential to avoiding collisions. Critics question whether the FAA's new space office duplicates this work, delaying essential investment. Headline number 5. Trump's uplifting message on Truth Social. President Trump told followers that good things will soon be happening for the Republican Party, building anticipation ahead of his national address tonight. Political analysts view this as a calculated attempt to soften his image after recent controversies. The tone is expected to carry into tonight's remarks, which could influence Republican voters. Headline number 6. Rise in campus deplatforming. Colleges have seen nearly 250 attempts to deplatform speakers this year, often tied to the Israel-Hamas conflict, according to a report by the Foundation for Individual Rights in Education. Administrators argue it's about security, while critics say it suppresses free speech. This growing trend is stirring a national debate on academic freedom and censorship. Headline number 7. Allegations of fake science. Censorship sources report that mainstream scientific reviews are being blocked or dismissed under new internal standards. Scientists warn this could stifle climate and biomedical innovation. Those pushing back claim the barriers are ideological, not scientific. It's raising tough questions over who controls academic discourse. Headline number 8. Deplatforming cuts misinformation on Twitter. A recent study found that false information on Twitter dropped roughly 40% after deplatforming the top 100 accounts responsible for misinformation. Post January 6th. Supporters say it shows effective self-regulation without infringing free speech. Skeptics argue users will just migrate to alternate platforms. Headline number 9. Artemis II gets space weather shield. NOAA launched a testbed to forecast solar storms and protect NASA's Artemis II astronauts from radiation. The timing follows a recent solar event that disrupted satellite communications. This move highlights growing recognition that solar weather is a national security issue with real-world impact. Headline number 10. Press freedom lawsuit advances the reporters. Committee for Freedom of the Press is suing a police department over delayed release of body cam footage during a publicized incident. They argue it violates transparency laws and that timeliness is crucial. Meanwhile, authorities maintain it's part of an ongoing investigation. Headline number 11. Trump nominated for Nobel Peace Prize. Israel's Prime Minister proposed Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, citing his relocation of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem and Abraham Accords achievements. Critics say the nomination is symbolic and politically motivated. Supporters call it a validation of Trump's diplomacy in the Middle East. Headline number 12. Iran executes alleged Mossad spy. Iran executed a man accused of spying for Mossad after a high-profile trial. Officials say he led several operations targeting Iranian nuclear officials. The move is seen as a signal that Iran will aggressively counter foreign intel efforts. Tensions in the covert intelligence space may get hotter. Headline number 13. North Carolina Governor Stein issues key veto. The governor vetoed a bill limiting mail-in voting, citing threats to election integrity after alleged improprieties. Supporters argue the bill would have bolstered fair access. Detractors worry creeping restrictions. The veto sets up a potential override showdown in the state legislature. Headline number 14. Tragic camper incident in Texas. A group of campers went missing in Texas after failing to check in. The state reports 24 found dead and 23 still unaccounted for. Rescue teams deployed riverboats and helicopters amid high water conditions in the area. Officials are investigating whether emergency response delays contributed to the high toll. Headline, #15. Congress eyes classified info restrictions. Lawmakers in D.C. are considering limiting access to classified intelligence leaks, going only through congressional leadership. This comes after a recent CIA leak triggered national controversy. Advocates claim it will prevent leaks, while critics fear lawmakers and the public will be kept in the dark. Headline number 16. PBS funding sparks party split. Representative Mark Amadei is wavering on a GOP proposal to cut PBS and NPR funding, appealing for a review rather than immediate action. Conservatives argue taxpayer dollars shouldn't support public broadcasting. Amadei's stance could sway other moderates and influence the bill's outcome. Headline number 17. Walmart and Amazon explore stablecoins. E-commerce giants. Walmart and Amazon are reportedly planning their own stablecoins, digital currencies pegged to the dollar to speed up internal transactions and reduce fees. Analysts highlight that this could reshape how retailers manage payments and possibly bypass banks. It could also accelerate mainstream crypto acceptance. Headline number 18. Scientific fountain of youth protein discovered. Researchers have identified a protein that appears to reverse cellular aging in lab mice. A discovery that may have implications for cancer treatment and age-related disease. Human trials are likely years away, but optimism is high in biotech circles. If validated, this could open doors to new regenerative medicine therapies. Headline number 19. Federal flood warnings under threat, a state level. Coalition has raised concerns about potential reductions in NOAA's flash flood early warning systems following budget cuts. Local officials warn it may lead to slower evacuation orders and put lives at risk. The issue could spark last-minute lobbying efforts in Congress before the budget closes. Headline number 20. Headline number 20. TikTok slammed over AI-generated child images. Lawmakers and watchdogs are pressuring TikTok after reports showed AI-generated content of children involved in controversial storylines being widely shared. Critics say the platform's moderation is failing to protect minors from exploitation. TikTok claims it's improving its detection tools, but Congress may pursue regulatory action if the trend continues. That's your Drawpoint News for today. Fast, focused, and fearless. Click subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow morning with 20 more stories.